will share to I was second year college. A friend of clicked them with the physical appearance.
Country. So I came to Filipino heart. So I was a bit reluctant with that because
the informations of our lands, what are the tourist
later or video call.
We also to start. How long did it take for us to finally
start to really like each other?
Send messages, and
it was annoying.
I was adamant to give it because you know I'm already abroad. Phone number of the boarding house, and he asked.
So that was a really special moment. I can still recall.
Working, he wakes me up at 5 o'clock in the morning. First night experience at my family's cows, goats. So every night, I would travel around Cebu for.
Cheer monkey was great. Partner, so I could buy a new ticket and share music.
He was also giving a cards and then
the attentions.
Or a foreigner in terms of love. Showy, they don't give staffs, they don't give relationship.
Oh, definitely. I was still officially married in the Netherlands. I could not marry.
And patience. So, already got a ticket for 3 weeks in order for you to get that
occurrence. Yeah, really.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but quite a stressful when preparation after a preparation. Again, welcome back to our channel. It's Liam Boy, Dutch-Filipino. Since we have already been giving a lot of videos on YouTube, we will officially introduce ourselves in a love story.
Love story?
Why are you laughing?
Well, it's history of love story.
History of love story, whatever you say. But we will share to our history, the love story of
how we came to meet and stuff.
Are you shy? You're a little bit. Normally you speak loud, and today you are.
Really, I'm not shy. Not at all.
Anyway, we are not prepared, but we have papers with us.
We're spying a bit, so we don't have an auto cue, so we have the auto cue here.
So the first question that everybody wants to know is, how did we meet? How did we meet, darling?
That was through internet, through Filipino Heart, a dating site. Yeah, check profiles, and then Jenny's profile also popped up, and a few more, but yeah, then I like Jenny's best.
Now at that time, guys, FilipinoHeart.com, Cupid.com, Cherry Blossoms were still the in thing in the online dating world. I was second year college. A friend of mine was already busy visiting or meeting foreigners in Cebu City, so I asked her how did he do it, and she told me that she registered herself on FilipinoHeart.com, and she was asking me if I also wanted to be a member. So I said, oh, just try. I don't even have an email account. Don't worry, I will make you an email address too. So she was the one fixing and making it for me. Fast forward 2 years after, I already graduated university. I visited the internet cafe and registered myself using the account that my friend gave me, or the ones that she was making for my name. I logged in, and normally it's just like Facebook. I saw the faces. Oh, this guy, I like this. Click OK, click like, click, without even knowing where they come from. I just randomly click them with the physical appearance. In the Philippines at the time, family and friends are always getting married with American guys. So I was also thinking of myself. I already have the idea of myself of, meeting an American guy. But I didn't even have the idea that there is this guy in a small country in Europe called Netherlands, who also or Holland, who also would like to click my photo. So the second question, why did you specifically look for Filipinas?
Well, I was married, well, officially not married, to an Indonesian woman, and that ended up in divorce. Not really divorce, but that's another matter. And I was really interested in finding an Asian woman or partner again. But I thought, well, Indonesia is a no-go, and then you have Thailand, but yeah, difficult with language, China, Vietnam, or countries like that. And I was thinking Philippines, they speak English there, so that makes communication easier. So I came to Filipino Heart. So the number one reason was language.
Aside from we were good Filipino women can communicate well. Filipino in general are also welcoming and warm people.
Well, I didn't know that at the time, but the main reason was language, communication. Okay. Because I think from China, I also had a Chinese dating site, but I was a bit reluctant with that because language is difficult. And I think when I find a woman in the Philippines, she already speaks English, so that makes it a lot easier to communicate.
Third question, what were the first conversations? Okay, first conversations during the time that we met.
First, the typing, no webcam yet.
We introduced ourselves, who am I, what I do for a living.
Age, where you're from.
Yeah. And we also shared the informations of our lands, what are the tourist spots, landmarks, culture.
And also past relationships. I mean, for my part, that I was still in a divorce.
Yeah, that is necessary.
Just looking for a friend at first. I didn't want to commit myself because of the bad feelings I had. I was a bit suspicious at that time, and my heart was broken, and I was really a bit down. So I was just looking for somebody to talk with and maybe make friends and see what comes from that. My parents were not really happy because, I'm just already skipping a bit, when we were chatting later or video calling, my mother saw Jen's face and she looked like...
I did not really give the nice impression for the family on the webcam.
No, they were thinking, oh, there he goes again.
They were thinking maybe that this is the second...
the second coming, the second time that Richie's going to make a big mistake or will regret it. So they were not really happy with it.
Foreigners. They preferred Richard to get married.
Somewhere find a woman here in the Netherlands.
We also talk about our likes and dislikes.
And of course our profession, what we do in life. I was completing my training or schooling as a hearing aid technician. So I was almost finished with that. And Jenny was in her last year of...
No, I was in the last year. That was the first year that I landed the job. I was
you were
already...
just starting in...
I was just starting
St.
Mary.
St. Mary Immaculate. Mary Immaculate.
You already mentioned the school. Sorry.
Well, it's a bit scripted, but not too much.
I was on the training. I was waiting for the school year to open, so that was the time that I met him. How long did it take for us to finally say that we fell for each other?
Well, at first you bond, you get to know each other, and you talk about everything, and then you begin to like each other. I cannot recall exactly when it's up, but after a while, maybe after a few weeks or after a month, and when you know each other a bit, then you start to really like each other or like each other more, and you look forward to calling again because at that time.
One thing that we also have to say, we started in filipinoheart.com, but eventually we stepped out from the website because it was quite busy. Everybody wanted to send messages, and it was annoying. So we made it private. So we transferred to Yahoo. At the time, Yahoo Messenger was still useful. I don't know.
People at that time were still using that, and Messenger. You had Windows, we used Yahoo Messenger.
We used Yahoo Messenger, and
later we used the webcam.
The webcam, and then for the first time you asked my number. I was adamant to give it because we heard a lot of stories in the news also that Filipino women were killed or mistreated or abused by their partners abroad. thinking, where? I'm already abroad. Abroad, and I was like, shall I give my number? So I was thinking for a few seconds, and I said, if I will not grab the chance at this time, when? So I asked him, which number do you like to have, a mobile phone number or telephone number of the boarding house? And he asked
Both.
for both. So from
But I first called you, and then later we chatted with the webcam.
yeah.
Because then I can still remember, I called you when I was in my training area, when I was still in school, and I was my heart was beating. I called the number, and then you have a certain, you see somebody and you see a picture, but how would the voice going to be?
Yeah,
So that was a really special moment. I can still recall.
Was...
And I was already, we were talking maybe for 30 minutes, but the lessons were already starting, but I was still outside. I said, oh, I have to go now because
yeah.
the lessons already started. I can still recall that vividly.
So the situation was, we will chat and call each other on the webcam every weekends and weekdays. He calls me every morning.
Yeah,
he is my alarm clock.
Yes.
Before I start school, working, he wakes me up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and that's the time that he also goes to bed. So it was like that for 3 years.
Yeah, I had to call maybe at 11 p.m. in winter time and 12 p.m. in summertime.
Yeah. How did our love prosper?
Well, it was a long distance relationship. It was difficult, of course, but first I went over there for 2 times. Yeah, April 2009 for the first time.
First visit, first impression. First night experience at my family's place.
Yeah, and I was thinking, where the hell am I? In the middle of the jungle. I hope I wake up. That was my thought.
I live in a mountain barangay, and our house is the only house on the hill. So we receive most of the winds. So when we sleep at night,
it was quite windy.
It was quite windy, and the windows
are
always bumped by the bamboo leaves. So the bamboo leaves are also making sounds, and my parents are also having pigs, cows, goats. So every night they are also making noise. So for
the wind was the worst.
For Richard, it was not a nice first night experience, but changes everything once I brought him to Cambais Falls.
And the next morning I woke up and I was in lovely nature, and then she took me to Cambais Falls, and then I said, I thought to myself, yeah, I like it here. I switched the button and everything went on from there.
Yeah, I would travel around Cebu for, you were having how many weeks vacation at the time?
17 days, I think, 2.5.
So 2.5 weeks. For the 2 weeks time we traveled around Cebu. I showed him the tourist spots that I promised him during
San Pedro
the
Fortress.
First conversation. Yeah, I also brought him to museums.
To your school.
Yeah, and we also went to Bohol.
To Bohol.
We visited Chocolate Hills. Tarsier.
Floating restaurant, the Tarsier Monkey. It was great.
And you came back in 2009. Why did you come back?
Well, I was really missing you.
Well, yeah, he was there April 2009, and you come back again on August, same
September.
year.
Yeah, same year.
It was just few months.
At that time, I was already thinking I'm going for it, so I bought another ticket. I sold off some old jewelry, some gold jewelry from my ex-partner, so I could buy a new ticket, and I thought, well, I'll just go for it.
In order for us also to, let our love prosper, we also sent cards. We were old-fashioned.
Yeah, I was sending cards, and I sent you, for your birthday, I sent you a big basket with fruit.
That's true.
And we sent cards through the internet, with all kinds of
emails. But Valentine's Day, he was also
shared music.
He was also giving a card as big as this, with a big heart, a teddy bear holding a heart. So, as a woman, as a girl being loved by a boy, let's say that is 2009 is 10 years ago. So I was also, having the butterflies in my stomach at the time. We were really in love. Every time I receive all the cards and the letters.
All the attentions.
So it was like also being loved I was not expecting that it was in that way because, you know, I didn't have really a picture of how a foreigner fall in love to a Filipina. You only have the idea of a Filipino falling in love to a Filipina. So for me, it wasn't that difficult because there was not really a difference between a Filipino or a foreigner in terms of love.
No, I mean, it's a little cultural differences, but not too much, and that's not such a big thing. I mean, the Philippines is a quite Western-oriented country because of the Spanish and the Americans, so the culture is, I think, quite Western-oriented. So that was that makes it easier, I think.
Yeah, but some of the stories I heard that some foreigners are not really showy. They don't give stuffs. They don't give flowers. They're not showy. They are not expressing their emotions. So I'm sorry, but with Richard, I felt what I needed to feel.
Yeah, just tell what you feel. That's important.
And now we have the third part, and that is the question: were there ups and downs in the relationship?
Well, definitely, it was, of course, a big test for us, long-distance relationship. After I went in September, we had to prepare for the marriage, but there were stumbling blocks on the road because I was still not finished with my divorce. That took quite a long time because I had to go to court. My ex-partner was married already in Indonesia, so my marriage there was void. But I first had to declare by the judge in Indonesia, and then we had to do it again in the Netherlands, so it took quite some time. And when I was still officially married in the Netherlands, I could not marry somebody else because I needed a declaration from the government, or from the local government, that you are not married. Now, and I was still married officially, so I could not get that declaration. And without a declaration, I cannot marry in the Netherlands or anywhere else around the world.
Sinomar. We call that Sinomar in the Philippines, certificate of no marriage.
Yeah, and in the Netherlands,
that's what we were waiting for quite some time. Waiting takes time and patience. So as a woman, I was also doubting if Richard was really pursuing me at the time. I didn't know that it was so hard for him to acquire the paper. I just realized it later when I came here. But for me, it was like maybe it was not serious anymore. So we were also struggling with that time span.
Tough stretch.
The next question.
So the telephone was our lifeline.
Yeah. After we received the paper, we finally set the date and we finally tied the knot.
That was Friday the 13th.
Yeah, it was.
May.
I was not planning to have it on a Friday the 13th, but I could not register ourselves in the municipality alone. I have to bring my partner with me, so I have to wait until he come here. But they already scheduled themselves. He already got a ticket for 3 weeks, so I have to wait for him. Luckily.
We arrived around noon, but we had to drive for 3 hours to Alegria.
We managed to register as early as we can. We arrived in the municipality and we already had a date. We wanted it on the 8th, but they said...
You had to wait for 1 week, yeah?
Yeah, but they said you are not allowed to get married if you cannot comply the requirements of the municipality. You have to attend seminars, and yeah, in order for you to get that, you have to attend the seminar. So we also we also register ourselves for the seminars. After the seminars, they already gave us the date, and luckily for us, Friday the 13th is our lucky day. We got married on.
If I'm not mistaken, at that time, in 2011, so May the 13th, 2011, all the planets were aligned. That's a very rare occurrence. Yeah, really.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but I was already preparing everything, but I did not distribute the invitation cards. I already had it already printed on May 8th, but we just have to literally cross out 8
to erase
and put 13 on it. We just manually did it with the two of us, 100 invitation letters correcting it. So yeah, that was quite an experience. It was quite a stressful wedding, but by the grace of God, we were able to experience a
Well,
nice
the marriage
and
was not
lovely
stressful,
wedding.
but it was hot, and the preparations were
No,
stressful.
yeah, because he also helped with the decorations
Decoration
of the church.
The church.
In this video, I will be also flashing some pictures in order for you to have an idea how did our wedding look like.
And the day after, we already left.
Yeah. So the day after, it was also hectic.
Yeah.
So it's a preparation after a preparation. I prepared for the wedding. I also at the same time prepared for the tourist visa. For the next vlog, we will be discussing how did I get my tourist visa here in the Netherlands. How did I get my residence permit here in the Netherlands. So stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe our channel. Hit the notification button. And till then, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
In all good situations, will you give your life to her as your wedded wife? Will you promise this before the Lord?
I do.
Kaduog mo? Jeneline, will you accept Richard as your wedded husband, to love him, to comfort him, to have and to hold for to him in all circumstances, in sickness and in good health, for poorer and for richer, in all bad situations and good situations? Are you willing to sacrifice for him just because you love him and you will promise it before the Lord?
Yes, I do.
Yung ba ninyo? So, this ring to you, Jenny,
I will give this ring to you, Jenny,
as a symbol of my love to you,
as a symbol of my love to you.
and I will put this in your finger,
And I will put this in your finger,
symbolizing that somebody owns you,
symbolizing that somebody owns you,
somebody get married to you,
somebody get married to you,
and it's you.
and it's me.
I will give this ring to you,
I will give this ring to you,
Richard,
Richard,
symbol of my love
as a symbol of my love
and faith.
and faith.
And now,
And now,
I will own you
I will own you
as my wedded husband.
as my wedded husband.
Jen, I will promise to be your husband for as long as I live, and not only your husband, but be there for you when you need me, to comfort you, to hug you, and to have fun and everything. After the first sad period you know all about, I hope this is the second and last, forever. Thank you.
Praise God. Can I suggest, can I advise you, not just to hope, to believe. This is the last. You are in the presence of the Lord. Okay. Jean, it's now your turn. How you will accept him as your wedded husband. Can you say it in your own way?
Rich, you know very well how much I have for you since from the beginning until now, and I promise in front of God that I will be having you forever, and I will be supporting and I will be loving you all the way through thick and thin.
Let's give God clap offering for their promises to one another. And we know you are just human beings. We'll just entrust your promises to the Lord. It is only God.
Okay. Ako isunod, ang mga principal sponsors, ganyan, with the prize.